It's done. It's sealed. India are into the final of the Asia Cup 2025 with, you may say, a rather clinical, in parts rather sloppy, but a clinical 41-run win against Bangladesh. And that has achieved two things. Not only are India through to the final of the Asia Cup, where they'll be bidding for a record extending 9th title, but the defending T20 Asia Cup champions in Sri Lanka are officially eliminated. Because one more team will get to 4 points. India are already on 4 points. And that could be either Pakistan or Bangladesh tomorrow. So, the equation for the finals now is very much clear. India will await the winner of the Bangladesh-Pakistan encounter. Whoever wins goes through to the final. Whoever loses is eliminated. Very simple, no permutations and combinations. So, you may be looking at India versus Bangladesh. Repeat of 2016 in the T20 format, repeat of 2018 in the ODI format, final. Or, you could see India versus Pakistan for the very first time ever in 16 Asia Cups. So that is where we are standing at this point in time. 41-run win, brilliantly achieved by Kuldeep Yadav, who was on a hat-trick at one point in time. But the Terror Twins, Varun Chakravarti and Kuldeep Yadav, combined to take 5 wickets. And that is why Bangladesh have been bundled out, bowled out, and because of that, from plus 0.121, expect their net run rate to dip even further.
Yeah, and I think there's two major things which have to be noted when it comes to this victory. One is that it actually did come about due to some excellent bowling and despite India's poor fielding. Because truth be told, the fielding efforts, I think we'll discuss it in detail, why exactly it was so tough. A number of catches dropped. What made things better though is that India's main strike bowlers, the spinners, and that truth be told has been their strength in the last 2 tournaments really that they have played in Asia, in UAE and Abu Dhabi, is that their spinners have really ruled the roost. And Varun especially, I know Kuldeep will steal the highlights and rightfully so, he was phenomenal. But for Varun, I think that was an excellent spell because it came when he was under pressure. His first over had been expensive. I think he gave away 13 runs in the first over. But then from there on to end with an economy or end just conceding 27 runs and then taking 2 wickets. Phenomenal. And those 2 wickets also, I think, is a little bit of a mislead because, let's be fair, it could very easily have been 4 wickets. There were 2 catches dropped off his bowling. And look at that, 4 overs, 2 for 29 means an economy of 7.2, which is phenomenal, whichever way you look at it. But again, if you take away those 13 runs, that means he gave away 16 runs in his next 3 overs and took 2 wickets. Could have been 4 wickets. Yep. Excellent, really, I think, say from him, because in the first over, I think in the power play, he wasn't very comfortable. He wasn't, maybe the grip wasn't there. I don't know what it was. As the ball got softer, though, tended to do much better. And Kuldeep, I mean, what can you say? He was on a hat-trick at one point in time. He looked virtually unplayable for the most part. And I think, see, that's what really helped them. It was India's spin. You're talking about the spin twins. But there's been 4 Indian spinners who've taken wickets. Akshar had one, and even Tilak Verma ended up getting one.
But if you look at the trio, 12 overs, 6 for 84, going at an economy rate of 7. But Kuldeep Yadav, I mean, look at him, 4.5 economy rate. And already when you look at it, he's got double-digit numbers in this Asia Cup.
Is the top wicket taker now?
Comfortably. I think he is the top wicket taker. But the most heartening thing was Jasprit Bumrah also coming back to form with 2 for 18. And there were concerns about him. He had gone for none for 45 in the previous game against Pakistan. But he's come back with 2 wickets. And that's why, yes, the only thing is that the catching. That is the only bone of contention that we've got. But yeah, 12 wickets for Kuldeep Yadav. Next best is, he's not going to add on to Stalin, Junaid Siddiqui of Oman. And no, Junaid Siddiqui UAE. Sorry. Mustafizur may get one more game, but that's about it. Wanindu may get one more addition into his wicket. Saim Ayub in the top 5. So that's what it is. So India have been absolutely clinical in the batting. Batting gave you some jitters. Bowling today, top notch. But they're fielding. So look at it. Oh, minus 0.97 for Bangladesh.
From plus 1.21, they've gone to minus 0.97. So I think, see, tomorrow's match is basically a shootout. If Bangladesh win, then net run rate doesn't matter because then they'll be on 4 points to Pakistan's 2. But I mean that net run rate is not comfortable by any stretch. In fact, I dare say if Bangladesh had lost one match prior, then Sri Lanka would have, of course, been. That shows you how tight the margins are. That Sri Lanka are eliminated.
Now net run rate doesn't play a role at all.
Yeah, now it's down to points. Simple as.
Simple, okay? Because even if the match is rained out, it's a rare occasion, if it's rained out, Pakistan will go through because of a better net run rate. So, the net run rate factor is gone, only points, simple shootout. Whoever wins is in the final, whoever loses is hasta la vista from here. But let's talk about this game in particular, starting with the bowling. And the approach by Bangladesh, barring Saif Hassan, I felt that in the power play, they had notched up close to 8 runs per over. 8 to...
They were at 40 odd by the end of the power play, if my memory serves me right.
I think that was the wrong strategy to go by.
Yeah, I mean, I did say in the mid innings that they don't need to be overly aggressive. But I did also say that they need to get at least about 60 odd runs in the power play. Put yourself in a comfortable position because thereafter you could have milked the singles and twos and actually not put yourself under pressure to attack India's biggest strength right now, the spinners.
Exactly. So that's where I think, they erred on caution, not helped by the fact that they lost wickets. They were trying to be too aggressive. Against, they chose the wrong battle. They tried to attack Varun, but then, Varun, perhaps couple of balls, 1 over, then he'll be back in his groove. Kuldeep came in and that changed the entire complexion of the game. Remember, Kuldeep has a fantastic record against Bangladesh and left arm wrist spinner, not many people can tackle them at this point.
I mean, we talk about, Bangladesh and their complicated history with wrist spin. I was mentioning that in the mid innings, and it's also worth noting that if you talk about them producing less leg spinners or wrist spinners, it also means that their batters haven't faced that many wrist spinners coming up. Their club cricket and then later domestic cricket exposure would mostly be to spinners who are finger spinners, whether that be left armers or right armers. So facing a leg spinner, a right arm leg spinner, is anyway a problem. Now imagine having to face a left arm wrist spinner, the rarest of the rarities in the world in general. Now you have to face in these conditions. Good luck.
And he is one of the best in the business at this point in time because Kuldeep Yadav, whatever be his spell that he's done against Bangladesh or against anybody, even against the UAE, even against Pakistan, the spell that he had on September 14th was also sensational. So Kuldeep Yadav at this point in time is one of the players who many nations just can't figure out. Let's be very honest about it because his variations, plus he's got control. The benefits of playing him on a consistent basis, he's in rhythm, he's in confident, he is very, very in control of his line and lengths. And look at it. I can understand 3 for 38 because a wrist spinner normally doesn't have that much of control. But 3 for 18, sublime control. And look at how Bangladesh just couldn't get going. Tanzir Hassan Tamim went, Imam tried, Hridoy tried, Shamim tried. But look at that period from 6.2 to 10.4. You lost a total of 3 wickets for 26 runs, 28 runs, and you ate up 4 overs. That middle over period ensured that Bangladesh always had to play, and it was too much to do for Saif Hassan.
Yeah, at one point in time, towards the part where Saif Hassan and Saifuddin were batting together, boy, that is a confusing batting duo to be commentating on. Their required run rate had creeped over 10.
Yeah.
At that point, that was very tough because they are on the lower order side of the batting, and 10 on a pitch which is clearly doing a bit, and where India's bowlers were very comfortable bowling, was always going to be a struggle. You needed something otherworldly, and that's why I think, the approach the difference in approach that you saw with Bangladesh and India, the Indian openers were not hesitant to use the power play. Whereas with Bangladesh, I felt like they could have been a little bit more gung-ho. I know that early, wicket of Tanzir Hassan Tamim kind of put them on the back foot, but I think they still needed to be more aggressive to give themselves a chance. If they had gotten 60, 70 runs in the power play, then there wouldn't have been as much pressure through the middle overs phases, and that's what really haunted them in the end.
Yeah, so that is one huge issue that we are grappling with. Because Bangladesh, that's why I say they don't play the modern game. They want to take it deep. They want to ensure that in the power play, they take their time and then attack in the middle. But it's now gone totally different. Because you have to capitalize in the power play.
Absolutely.
Bangladesh and Pakistan, they don't capitalize in the power play that often. And this is where you see that you look at the strike rates, you look at every other thing, they are at their lowest ebb at this point in time. That is where I look at Bangladesh and see, yes, they have gone back to that 2015-16 period in which this is the kind of cricket that you play at that time.
Yeah.
Try and play out the power play, say, with a run rate of 7 or 8, and then try and go for it to the death. Doesn't work that way.
It stopped working that way. Nowadays, the template is almost reversed in the sense that not only do you go for it in the death, you need to be very attacking, very enterprising in the power plays as well, because that's the only way you're going to put pressure on the opposition. If you don't, then, they'll just control things in the middle overs like India did. And of course, see, not every team has the quality of bowlers. Also, India had a lot of quality to call upon. So much so that Akshar had a relatively off day and it didn't really matter much in the end because the other bowlers more than made up for it. But that poor power play start, it set them back. It set them back badly.
And that was where Parvez Hossain Imam tried too hard. But you look at the strike rate towards the end of the day, it was terrible for him. And that's why Saif Hassan had too much to do on this platter. And knowing that 3 spinners were there with different variations who are going to ensure that you don't get away that easily, Bangladesh needed a better power play start, and that's why looking at it, they were facing an uphill battle. But now Harshit's here. Harshit, we were waxing lyrical about Kuldeep Yadav. Your 2 cents on the mastery that Kuldeep exhibited today, and other positive, Jasprit Bumrah back and forth 2 for 18. So combined our 2 spearheads in Kuldeep and Bumrah, 8 overs, 4 for 36. What do you have to say about the duo?
Phenomenal. I must begin with Varun Chakravarti, especially after him conceding 13 runs of the first over that he bowled inside the power play. It was, I think, Imon who hit him for a couple of boundaries at that time. But very strong comeback. You look at how many he's conceded after that. He's conceded only 29 in total. You remove those 13 runs. That tells you how good a bowler he was in the remaining 3, and he wasn't bogged down. That's what I liked about him the most. Good bowlers, when they have faith in their ability, they don't get bogged down because of one bad over. They know that they will have enough time, enough overs to bowl and set things right, get that average right, get the wickets, tighten the screws. That's exactly what Varun Chakravarti did. Kuldeep Yadav, to begin with, I was worried once his foot got stuck while fielding in the power play when he was chasing the ball. I was hoping that he turns up absolutely fine, and so he did. So very, very happy to see him again. Unlike Varun Chakravarti, he hit the ball or he hit the nail right on the head. Varun, I thought in that first over I was just referring to, was a little short, which allowed the batters to go ahead and sweep him, and 2 of those 3 boundaries to Varun Chakravarti came off sweeps only. But Kuldeep got his lines and his lengths right from the word go, and which is why Bangladesh batters, especially the tail, again, he was always going to be too good with the tail. That's what we saw as well. But once the 2 were on song, Kuldeep Yadav from the other end gave India those couple of wickets that you needed to ensure that the derailment continued to happen for Bangladesh. Yes, Hassan gave Bangladesh some sort of hope over there with his 50, but 4 catches dropped of him. I was looking at how lucky a bowler, a batter he's been, because there's only been about 3-4 instances. Jason Roy, I think, was the first one, or one of the 4 batters he was, to have 4 catches dropped in the same match. He makes it to that rare list of sorts. But a quick word on Jasprit Bumrah. I was looking at how he changed things today and why he looked much better than he has in the competition previously. He had only bowled about 38% of his balls in the hard length area. Today he bowled 12 deliveries in that area, and that meant that he gave away only 2 runs and picked up a couple of wickets as well. So see, hard lines that was missing from Jasprit Bumrah's armory, he gets that right today and looked like an absolutely sensational and unplayable bowler today.
But if you look at it, this was a case of 2 guys. Let's contrast what happened. Abhishek Sharma and Saif Hassan, both openers, both the only individuals who scored 50s in today's game. Okay, right at the top. Saif Hassan with 69 of 51, and you look at it, Abhishek Sharma 75 of 37. Okay. Now, what helped in Abhishek Sharma's case? He had a very solid opening partnership with Shubman Gill. By the end of the power play, they were 72 for no loss. But in Bangladesh's case, look at the support. Look at, apart from Parvez Hossain Imon and Saif Hassan, 1704442046.
It's a phone number.
It is a phone number that you got.
Is that the OTP for all the orders you must have placed on the online sales going on?
I don't know. But then look, Bangladeshi players will be definitely doing it because look at it. Only 2 guys in the double digit range. Look at the Indians. See how they have accumulated. I mean, there was 3. And this is where
4 actually. Let's count Akshar also.
Aksar. Okay, but then Aksar 10 of 15, 66.61. Looking at better strike rates. Which is where I think, sure, Abhishek Sharma played a very vital knock, which set up the base. But now in 2020, hindsight, when you look at it, I think we didn't give Hardik Pandya's knock the respect that it deserved. Because he came in at a time when they were 129 for 5. Anything could have happened. And if you had collapsed in the way how this was going on, who knows? Maybe Bangladesh could have had a better, they would have been much better in confidence in chasing it. But look at it. 38 of 29, he used the offside area pretty well. Whenever he got it in the slot, he whacked it for 6s. Hardik Pandya, the batter, stepped up. Although Hardik Pandya, the bowler, didn't step up. So, has that ticked off that one box in the Indian team batting that maybe Hardik Pandya didn't have that much of time? This knock goes a long way in allaying our fears that maybe he's not struggling for form with the bat.
I wasn't worried about his batting per se. I was more worried by his bowling. But yeah, I think in hindsight, and this is of course, we always say hindsight, 2020 vision, always just easier to view things with. I mean, the 38 of 29 looked slow at the time, but considering how tricky the pitch was and how Bangladesh's batters fared thereafter, you'd have to say it was a phenomenal knock in the circumstances, considering you had lost Dubey cheaply, Sky cheaply, Tilak cheaply. And at that point, you really needed to ground yourself a little bit and then reach that point where you could get to a decent total, a defendable total. I remember saying it was 50-50, but keeping things in mind as far as the Indian bowlers' quality was concerned, I think we should have given it maybe a 60-40 in hindsight again. But those runs proved crucial because if Hardik also went cheaply, you could have potentially been looking at, instead of 160, you were looking at about 140. Now, 127 versus 140, you'd be sweating bullets.
Yep. But
here, as a Hardik Pandya fan, I'm not agree with both of you because yes, pitch was tricky and every situation was different. But as a Hardik Pandya, for Hardik Pandya, he should score a 50 in 29 balls.
agreed.
Our producer
Shivam was saying.
He is known for the
Who is a staunch backer of Hardik Pandya. Yeah. He began by reminding us that this is his take, and he says that he was expecting Hardik to get to 50 given the time that he spent at the crease. That's what you're saying, that he's a hard hitter, and after having played 29, you expected him to get to a 50.
Yeah.
But so Shivam says that he's even as a Hardik backer and a staunch supporter of Hardik, he's not particularly happy with his performance with the bat. He felt Hardik, while conditions and what our analysis says, and even I agree with what my two colleagues have said, that in the circumstances it looked like a very good knock, and that just tells you that the conditions weren't easy. But Shivam says that he should have gone ahead and at least gotten to 50, 55 odd for the number of deliveries that he's faced. But one thing I must tell Shivam, and for you guys as well watching this right now, if you have that same feeling, I think the difference Shivam was, and that you've got 2 innings now to assess how the pitch was, and hard ball, hitting the hard ball relatively easy than the soft ball. When he came out to bat, the ball was soft, and he was batting when between 10 and 15. That time ball was soft. It had been beaten quite a bit by the batters.
14. It was past 14.
He played entire career at the same number.
But every wicket is different. And with Dubai, you're seeing it's not easy hitting the soft ball. And that's where not just Hardik Pandya or others as well. Look at Aksar. Aksar showed you in the game against Oman, where none of your batters or batters were getting starts but not able to post big totals. Again, that match had taken place in Abu Dhabi. conditions were rather similar of sorts. But what did you see? Aksar showed you that he also got the firepower to score runs at in a jiffy and at a quick rate. But today Aksar also found it difficult to get off the blocks. 10 runs of 15 deliveries. Exactly what you saw with Bangladesh as well. Once the spinners came into play, all those cutters that Indians were also bowling, Indians were also finding it hard to hit the ball that had the lack of pace on it, and once it had become soft. So keeping in mind those things, 38 of 29, that makes it 131 strike rate. Not bad.
I mean, see, you have to look at Hardik Pandya's career trajectory with the bat. Let's begin with the GT instance. When he was captain of GT, he used to bat higher up the order.
4 more often than not.
And he had a fantastic time with the bat in 2022. I think he averaged well over 40, but the strike rate was somewhere around 135, 140. Okay. I think what has happened over all these years is that Hardik Pandya, looking at the situation, look at it. He came in the 15th over. You were 129 for 5. The ball had gotten softer. There was spongy bounce from the wicket. And the Bangladeshi bowlers were good in the fielding. They had bowled not many full deliveries. They were not trying too many things. They were bowling wicket to wicket. They were bowling the wide Yorkers. They were trying to ensure that they took pace of the delivery. Which was that one over which changed the things. It was Tanzim Hassan Saqib's last over. He got 3-4 deliveries in the slot and he whacked them. But look at what that partnership has done. 39 runs, 39 very crucial runs, by the way. You won the game by 41 runs. So that is where I think Hardik Pandya, the batter, yes, we are all stuck on that mold that maybe he should get 50 of 29. He should get a 60 of 30 balls at a strike rate of 200. Perhaps this wicket didn't allow him that. And plus, remember, this was only the second last recognized batting pair. That pressure was, of course, a Sanju was there, but a Sanju, again, I don't know what the Indian team is doing with Sanju Samson at this point in time. I think it's grossly unfair to what they have done, but we'll come to that a bit later. So, Hardik Pandya at this point in time, I think he's molded his batting. But yes, given the situation, suppose there is no pressure, Hardik goes to number 4. 2 overs to go. I think he can hit a 12 ball 30. That's also possible from Hardik. We just have to ensure that he gets the right opportunity, he sees the right situation. But then you contrast that with an Abhishek Sharma. Am I wrong in saying that he is one of the best ball strikers in the modern era when it comes to T20 cricket?
110%. And I think it's not just
wrong.
his... No, you're not wrong. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. How could I possibly disagree with you there? There's not a chance. There's not
Because
a chance.
I'll tell you that one stroke, it was, I think, that 6 that he hit over extra cover
Yeah.
of Saifuddin, if I'm not mistaken. That 1-6 that he hit, it threw me back again. I'll go back to my Sri Lankan boys. It threw me back to Sanat Jayasuriya. Inside out, absolutely carving it over deep extra cover for a 6. Plus the power that he has over mid wicket. As I've said, right from 2024, the best ball striker going around in world cricket. I'm looking at certain other big names also, like Joss Butler, like Andre Russell.
His partner, Travis Head.
Klaasen.
What do you think? Is he right up there when you look at this, after this knock in particular?
I don't know if he's number 1, because see, on song, when you look at some of the other guys that we've just mentioned, they look extremely threatening and menacing as well. But you can say it with utmost surety that he's right up there. He's the number 1 batter in T20 cricket for a reason, and there can't be any denying the fact that he's one of the best strikers of the ball, and there is a method to his madness as well. Whatever that he's doing is absolute madness. The numbers that he's racking up as well today, 202 on a pitch, that too on a Dubai surface where not a lot of batters have prospered. He's making batting look easy. So he has to be one of the finest batters out there, and he has found his way. He knows what his game is. He backs his strengths, and I like the fact that he's getting that support from this team management as well. If you look at what was said in the press conference by Ryan Tenduscarter on the eve of this particular match, he said that the way that Abhishek goes about his business, it's impossible to be inconsistent. You will have a couple of matches in which a batter like him who plays high on tempo, high on risk, will always get rewarded for all the risk that he takes. However, he's now, in this Asia Cup told us that, listen, while I will go for my shots, while I will not think twice, I know what I'm doing as well. He has looked to be the aggressor always, but the fact that he is scoring all these runs on a consistent basis now, and of course that fall could come in a big final, who knows, but he's doing his job every time else as well, and that one failure has to be given, or those two failures as well has to then be allowed. You cannot be nitpicking on the choice of shot, etc., because see, he gets his success with the same measures. So if you're not, if you're not talking much about the means and you're just looking at the ends right now, you will have to have the same approach when you have an off day as well.
I mean, I would firstly, before Shane comes in, I'd like to apologize to Abhishek Sharma, because I was critical of him for the fact that he hits 100, but then there's a trough. I think that notion's been dispelled. He's been sublimely consistent in this 2025 season. He's not had a trough. So, yeah, I do take my words back that I thought Abhishek Sharma won't be consistent. He would be like that dasher. He'll have one huge 100, but then he'll have a trough. That has been dispelled in 2025. And I'm very glad that he's proven me wrong in it. He's already had only one failure in the Oman game. That was it. But apart from that, he, against Pakistan, he's been your difference maker. In that 21st game, he was a difference maker. 14th, he was a difference maker. And in the final, I mean, if there is one batter that any opponent will be very wary of, is Abhishek. Left-hander, we need a left-hander. That's why in major ICC events, they bring out their best in that. Shikhar Dhawan was Mr. ICC for a reason. Now, another left-hander, Yuvraj Singh, Gautam Gambhir. Opponents fear left-handers, and now Abhishek Sharma. Shane, what's your take on it?
I mean, so it takes me back, and I'll give a longer analogy. I remember in 2024 it was, where when KKR won the IPL, so there was a lot of talk about how improved Sunil Narine was, not just as a batter, but even his bowling. And there was a very interesting analogy I read somewhere on his bowling and his bowling action. Someone said that his bowling at that point resembled just being stripped down to bare basics, and then that's pretty much it. It's like if you think about what a bowler has to do, right? He'll have a run up, there'll be an action, he'll bowl somewhere, and then that's pretty much it. There is nothing extraordinary about it. It's stripped down to bare basics, and there's a clarity of thought that actually makes it work. With Abhishek also, I feel the same way. There is nothing new about his approach. The approach we've seen attacking intent aplenty in T20 cricket. What really helps him is that he knows what he has to do. He's going out there and executing it flawlessly pretty much every time. Yeah, you can say that, on 2 occasions he's missed out on 100. I don't think he's too bothered by that, and quite frankly, neither should we be bothered by that.
I would in fact say these 75 runs, firstly, are their weight in gold.
Exactly.
And are as good as 100s.
They're better than 100s. Look at the strike rate.
Actually, exactly.
It's deflating for the opposition.
We used to say that 30s are the 50s of T20 cricket. Right? We've been born and brought up reading that, preaching that. And I would just by extension say that the 75, given the click at which they're coming, at the rate at which somebody like an Abhishek is operating, what its weight in gold, and who really cares about those 100s? He's doing the job for his team. He's become that player that, every team has to then, when you preparing for a game, there are a few players you will always have plans for. For Virat Kohli, there will be a separate team meeting that we want to devise ways of planning for Virat Kohli. I want such and such slips if I'm playing at a certain pitch against Virat Kohli. This is the field set I want. I want to deny him singles, because that's how he, will get into his mold by getting those singles, and then he'll punish the odd ball. Abhishek Sharma in very quick time has become that player for whom teams will have these meetings. A separate meeting taking place to find out what are his weak areas, where is it that he struggles, how is it that I can find him, put him in a difficult spot, what sort of field set does he struggle with. He's slowly become, in fact, very quickly he's become that player that has gone into the minds of the team and has become a difference maker.
In fact, let's look at it this way. There's been 2 Super 4 games now in India through to the final. In both those games, his knocks was the absolute difference maker. Absolute difference maker. You cannot find me one innings in either where you can say, you know what, this was the real innings aside from this that swung it. Yeah, you can say a Hardik, yeah, you can say a Shubman had a good cameo. But all of that was propelled or rather supported by Abhishek's knock. Abhishek's knock was the linchpin around which you built everything. Same was true in the last match. 180 odd we were saying could have been a tricky chase. Considering the amount of runs needed, could have been a tricky chase. He just made it so effortless at a point. Once he was gone, it was almost run a ball. The equation just didn't matter. So he's been the MVP in both games now. Both games, he's been the clear and obvious difference maker. And he's like a year into his senior international career. Phenomenal.
From June 2024, the legend of Abhishek Sharma continued. And after that 102nd match that he hit against Zimbabwe, he had a rather inconsistent run, but 2025, man, he soared.
And see, the funny part is it comes despite the fact that he didn't have the greatest of seasons with SRH this time around. He was kind of hit or miss. But for India, he's been phenomenally consistent.
Shreyas Iyer's Punjab Kings will not agree that he didn't have a good IPL.
But that was one match. Aside from that, there were times when he really went missing. But of course, I can say that for a lot of SRH players this year.
It was a freakish knock, that one that he hit against.
That was crazy.
Punjab Kings. Yeah, the note also.
Yeah.
So Abhishek Sharma is hitting the right notes when you have to look at it, and he represents
The note he was carrying for a while.
Yeah. But actually, when you look at it, Abhishek's approach typifies India's approach.
Yeah.
This is how the team plays, and it reflects in Abhishek's batting. And Shubman Gill, great supporting. I got 29 of 19. But although, I don't know, maybe it was the pitch or something, some of the hits were just not going to the boundary. I don't know what was it. Was it the off pace? Was it the pitch? Was it the outfield?
I think it was all of the above.
Yeah.
It was a combination of factors because we did see at times that the outfield was definitely on the sluggish side, and that continued on even in the India innings. By the way, I had a bit of a scare when Kuldeep was running early on and his foot got jammed not once but twice. I'm like, no, I do not want this man injured. I do not need this man injured. He needs to be fit. Please don't be running after balls like that. But I mean, that is the truth. That's just how the outfield is. The pitch, we know it was sluggish because you remember how much success that Mustafiz was having.
Yeah.
The cutters were practically unplayable after a point. You couldn't, if you had to be the one generating the pace from the bat, this pitch was giving you nothing whatsoever.
Yeah. But now there are certain issues. I'll highlight two issues.
Yeah.
And you can reply in the affirmative. Surya form issue.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It has been for a while.
Arshad's still thinking.
I'm still thinking because I just find it difficult to move past the enormous amount of faith that I have in his ability and what he can do on his day. He's done it on far too many occasions now that he single-handedly will win you matches, and you won't have to look at other batters because the way he'll go, and maybe it's down to the fact that he's not playing on those tracks that he gets usually in the IPL or in some other parts of the world, where I just didn't want to say that or gesture anything remotely close, but he makes it look easy when he's playing on tracks that are conducive to batting on these tracks. And you saw today as well, there was a very clear ploy of not giving him pace, and every time you deny Surya Kumar Yadav pace on a wicket like this, which is a bit spongy, which the ball holds up a bit, he finds it difficult to get off the block. So that's well done on Bangladesh bowlers to deny him the room. Look at the way that he got dismissed as well. Firstly, the angle, and then again being crammed a short ball that was directed at the body. Still not the best directed, but just enough to get a little tickle and get him out. Rather unfortunate way, Surya would
The
say for
umpire
him.
just didn't spot it. The Afghanistan umpire, I don't know what was happening. Shakir Ali was like, what?
Yeah.
If it's not a wide, then definitely must have hit something.
I mean, Zakir Ali was so sure, he didn't even appeal.
Yeah.
He didn't appeal, neither did Fizz. And then they were looking at the umpire going, there's nothing there? Like, what did you think it hit? His pad? Because there was such an obvious deflection.
Howler, totally.
That was an absolute howler, but thank God you have reviews. See, I agree with Harshit's point to an extent that I know. I mean, look, he's also a little bit of a victim of his own success in some ways. I think I've seen a similar problem.
Before you come to that, I mean, we just had highlighted 2 days back. Average of 50 strike rate of 155 strike, average of 45 strike rate of 185.
151 was the lowest strike rate that
Prior to this
Surya
year,
Kumar Yadav
yeah.
had starting from 2021, which is when his T20
Now
career
get
began.
ready for-
So 151, 155, 155,
And
we saw
170.
170, and then came 120.
No, now this time his average has gone to 12.4 in 2025 and his strike rate is less than 120.
See, I think that's part of the problem is that one, you have such high expectations from him because of the standards that he has set. So of course, I think it was practically impossible for him to be having that kind of a year all the time.
Although I would say it's almost like the halfway stage for him. While we have crossed the halfway mark in the calendar year, but looking at the T20 cricket per se, there's still a bunch of games to be played this year. Let's not forget that you only had those 5 matches in the England series, and now you are having the T20 side play. So you haven't really seen much in between.
I mean, see, this is now, you played 5, this is 3 plus 2, 5, 10. You still have another 2 plus 15. You have 17 more T20Is to go.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cricket still to go, but I think, see, going back to 2 things. One is that, yeah, of course, I have full faith in his ability, but I'm worried for 2 reasons. It's not just his Asia Cup form. He had he didn't have a good time of things in the England series as well, and listen, I'm sorry, those were on conditions or in conditions where he should have been excelling the most. Those were batter-friendly conditions. You saw a lot of batters get a lot of runs. So I think that there is a bit of a concern that his downturn has been ongoing a while, and I don't think it's also a coincidence that it's by and large coincided with him being named captain. That's another problem, and I don't think I'll take nothing away from his captaincy, because by and large his captaincy has been excellent. India's have won more often than not under him, but I think captaincy pressure maybe a combination of just sometimes see all players go through slumps, but he needs to come out of it soon, because again, having an informed Sky in this batting lineup makes you damn near unbeatable. Let's face it.
That is the only, you may say, that weakling that is there. Surya's form. Otherwise, if he's 2022-2023 form, man, a total of 168 will indeed go to 190, 200 on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Issue number 2. So yes, there is a slight concern with Sky's form, but again, as I said, that issue will be swept under the carpet until India is winning.
And it has been, because see, of course, you also have to give the obvious caveat. He did have a good IPL. So he performed well in the
Very good. I
IPL.
mean, second highest run scorer.
Yeah, so he performed well in the IPL. So it's not like he's lost form, but yeah, he's been in a bit of a funk for India, not Mumbai Indians. India, for India, yeah, there's been a bit of a while that has been kind of his performances haven't quite been that
It's
good.
been iffy at this point in time. But
So
issue
what do you think is issue number 2?
catching. See, you dropped a total of 4 catches in the game against Pakistan. Okay, you've dropped a total of 4 catches in the game against Bangladesh. 8 catches at this particular venue. Now, why did I say at this particular
In total, just sorry to cut you short, Siddharth. The overall number now stands at 11. And your joint highest in terms of catches dropped this tournament with, hold your breath, Hong Kong.
Oh dear.
Now, T. Dilip will definitely summon everybody to his office. Okay,
No, he sends emails.
he sends emails. Okay, but now he would have said, "I told you guys what happened. The email trail will grow longer now." Okay,
It's
No. You know what will be written? I have a joke here. It is per my last email. Particularly Shivam Dubey. That man at this point couldn't catch a cold.
I mean, that catch.
Even Abhishek
dropped 2.
The other common thread from the last match.
Abhishek, another one.
Now,
And his was the dolliest of dollies, FI.
again, is it the venue dynamics?
It's-
Because
it has
when I
to be.
saw the Ring of Fire at certain points, the light is flashing. It's flashing quite bright. So, are they losing it more in the lights? Or do you think, because you're winning, okay, you may be taking the high head catches. I mean, we saw in the practice visuals that there was long range catching that was been practiced. T. Dilip was doing all that. But at this point in time, despite all the practices, you're dropping about 11 catches. And it's all come in Dubai.
See, I think it's both factors. See, you have to give some allowance for the Ring of Fire, as we rightly put it, because it's not the easiest of venues. The entire thing is surrounded by lights.
Just think of it as you know,
Yeah,
what we are.
just an example. Look up at the lights here, and now imagine being surrounded by a ring of that, and then expecting to catch a ball. It's tough. And these guys are trained, they practice catches a lot. And if they're still finding it tough, then my sympathies are with them, that that's not the easiest of venue to be catching. My problem is that there's some absolute dollies also which are being dropped. For instance, the catch which I think it was, Abhishek's catch, that should have been taken. The other catch which I thought, Shivam Dubey, he reached there. There is no excuse. You reached it.
Hardik was right in front of him.
That confusion, he got distracted.
Yeah,
maybe,
but I think that the problem with him is he has less credit in the bank because he tends to be, pardon my pun, caught out at the wrong place in the wrong time. So it's like always, whenever something happens, he always somehow comes forward. The other one, which I found was a little bit egregious, was Sanju Samson. Man, he's telling it.
That was bad judgment.
Yeah, that was terrible judgment.
That was just erroneous on his part.
Yeah.
But the others sort of have my sympathy because, see, we know how good a fielding side India are, and it's just very uncharacteristic, and this is not something we're used to as well. So what is happening right now, I'd like to put it down to the venue a lot more, and we didn't see a lot of this happen in the Champions Trophy. Let's not forget.
It was mostly day matches.
Exactly. So there lies the difference. There lies the difference. We didn't see any of the. You won a World Cup because of a good fielding effort.
No, you also won the Champions Trophy final by a dropped catch. Everybody will forget in the final it was Kyle Jamieson who dropped him.
Yeah.
And Jamieson, he dropped it in the night. And yes, there seems to be something about the Ring of Fire where a particular height, which is why I think even dropped easy chances which we perceive might feel, oh, maybe I've lost it in the lights. Where is it? So that's why even Shubman Gill dropped a simple catch against Pakistan.
yes. Gill.
Abhishek dropped two
Kuldeep,
catches.
remember?
Kuldeep also dropped and he dropped it at short fine. Look at the positions where they have dropped. There seems to be no dropped catches at long on or long off, but there are catches been dropped at mid wicket, and it's happening at close to where we say cover. Okay, Sanju Samson again, and it's happening also inside the ring, not more so outside of the ring. So mid wicket, fine leg, and third man, and deep cover, and inside the ring. So that is where I think there seems to be a problem in sighting the ball. Long on, long off doesn't seem to be having an issue in, because all the outfield catches they're all taking. Dubey, I can say, perhaps Hardik Pandya came in the way he was distracted, but okay. Normally even Dubey isn't a safe fielder when we have to look at it. So that is an issue. But do you think now that we are in the final, cause of concern?
Yeah, I think you'd want to do something to rectify it because, see, I mean, say whatever, dropping these many catches plays on your psyche a little bit also, because suddenly you start questioning. You're like, why is it not working out? And then even if you're not questioning your ability, you might say, oh, it might be just a tougher venue to catch. So now the next time a ball goes up, you're a little reticent. Should I be the one going for it? If you go, that split second of hesitation, by the way, makes all the difference. It can make all the difference. So that is a bit of a concern, but I do think they have the quality to kind of...
Because it's happening even when a team is batting first or even when a team is batting second. It's happened across both. Pakistan game, they dropped it when Pakistan were batting first.
Correct.
That time, I think there is still a bit of daylight around. But then,
no, second
innings, this time 4 catches dropped again. That's one thing which T. Dilip has to address heading into the final. Now, yes, you got a game on 26, but now that is an inconsequential game. Whatever happens, it's a very inconsequential game on 26. And before
I think just one question about the next game, because we'll discuss this in detail when it's time for the next game. What level of experimentation do you think you're going to see this time?
The tail gets to bat. They flip the batting order.
Reverse batting order.
You need to have a Bradman in the side to be able to do that.
BUMRAH rested.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure. Okay.
Arshdeep adds to his wicket tally, then sits on the bench for the final.
Yeah. And
maybe Rinku Singh gets a game.
Rinku gets a game. Harshit gets a game.
Perhaps. Because there was a mention of Rinku as well in the press conference yesterday.
Is he the only guy who's not played in this entire squad? Rinku?
No, I think who were the players who came in? There were 2 changes made in this thing, right?
Yeah.
There were 2 changes. Go to the squads if we can.
Harshit.
Harshit
and
played
Arshdeep.
against Oman.
Harshit and Arshdeep, but other than that, they didn't rest anyone to my memory. Not there. The overall.
you can see.
Oh, yeah.
Jitesh.
Yeah, see, Jitesh is another one.
With Sanju not getting a bad and he had an okayish game with the gloves. Have you seen Jitesh?
You could see. Could see.
But you haven't seen a lot of Sanju either, so maybe persist with
He at least
Sanju.
got a 50 against Oman.
Yeah, but
Today, again, why did he have to bat at number 8? Why did you have because you know
He
what?
didn't
he's
even
not
bat.
deciding for
He
himself.
didn't even bat.
He's not deciding for himself.
No, because Gambhir, again, you say Nashin, left, right. Even that has also not been
Today
followed.
they didn't follow that. They sent Shivam Dubey.
No, they did when it was ideally, it was meant for Sanju to be coming out. We saw Aksar come out.
Then you saw Akshar come out.
The
Because of
left right
reasons.
came into effect then.
Yeah, but in the top order, it didn't come in.
Yeah, because you broke that once Abhishek was dismissed. You know, once Gill was dismissed, you sent in Dubey.
And then when Abhishek was dismissed, Surya. So I really don't know what is Gautam Gambhir thinking at this point in time. And I think that's the experimentation that we'll be seeing. I think whoever hasn't gotten a game, I think only 2, Rinku and Jitesh haven't gotten a game.
Yes.
I think you might.
You might make 3 changes then, because I think for sure Jasprit Bumrah will get rested.
Yeah, Jasprit will definitely get rested at this point. So we are joined by Nikhil from Dubai, and yeah, India into the final.
Why are you taking so long to say? Why are you taking so long to join from? You know, I'm in Dubai. You're taking
I
so
know,
long
but then
to fence.
the pillar hides your presence. That's why I can't see you.
The pillar doesn't hide the fact that he's
No, no.
joining from Dubai.
I
No, I didn't know that.
exactly
Yeah,
my
he's gotten
point.
the-
How I couldn't have taken a flight. Not just 10 minutes ago, I was doing a live with Mr. Gavaskar. I couldn't have taken a flight and reached somewhere else. I'll have to be in Dubai.
I mean, but by the way, what did Mr. Gavaskar say, and the clinical nature of this win? I mean, were we always expecting that India would put on such a show, or do you think there are certain issues that India will have to address heading into the final now?
I have only one line answer for you. What did Mr. Gavaskar say? If you want to know what he said, you will have to watch it on Sports Today.
Yeah.
It'll be up very shortly. So he's given a lot of insights about not only India's performance today, who he thinks will reach the final and play India, and what should India do for the Sri Lanka game. All these things he's spoken about, and you have to watch that video to find out. I am not going to give you any spoilers.
All right. But Nikhil, honestly, do you think by this win, there are certain issues? Say for when we were discussing about it, there was 2 issues that we pointed out. Fielding, because you dropped now 8 catches in 2 games. And Surya's form. Yes, you're winning, but now is it become mandatory that you cannot sweep these issues under the carpet even though you're winning?
See, I mean, again, it's a very tough question to answer, Siddharth, because see, at the end of the day, the Indian team is so far ahead of everyone else. Now, I agree that, you can look at these issues and, of course, they're worth debating. But then, we tend to forget what the context is. So, for example, let's say on the face of it, 168 does look like, a total that can be chased. And did India then underscore? And basis that you may talk about whether your shuffling was right, whether there's an issue with form. But then on the flip side, you can also say that maybe India got a little, 10, 15 more bases on what the condition is. Because if you look at that entire match, I think 30 out of those 40 overs, batters were struggling. It's only that first 10 overs that the Indian batters were so good. So maybe then you need to give credit to someone like an Abhishek who's so good that he's batting at such a tempo, and then Gill giving him company at the top. That's making India so better than the rest of the team. That could be a reason. Maybe 169 was more than a competitive total. Just you see the way Bangladesh have capitulated, and the reason behind that was because hitting wasn't easy. And so this is where I go back to the point that I made. No due as such. There has been no due. It's not a situation where, remember, in Dubai, when you're batting second, it would help you because of the due, and batting would become easier. Now what's happening, as the game is progressing, it is getting tougher for you to bat. Yes, India have chased on 2 occasions here and won, both against Pakistan, but that also then tells you how good the Indian batting lineup is. That's how good, an Abhishek Sharma and Shubman Gill have been giving you starts. So all in all, if I put it, I can look at a few issues that India can correct, and one of them, definitely, I agree with you 100%, no matter how the pitch is, no matter how the conditions is, And even if we are not looking at what the total is scored basis the condition, there is no excuse for dropping catches, which India has been doing rather consistently. It happened against Pakistan. It happened today. Some of those catches could have been crucial. And Saif was batting very well. And two of those catches happened to be of a Saif. What if he went on to play a match-winning total? So completely agree with you on the catching front. That is something, that India really needs to work on. And few basic errors are happening there. It's not even that I can look at a technicality that this place has that ring of fire, as you know, the lights are there. So sometimes the ball gets lost. That's also not happening because you see the two catches, the one dropped by Dubey. I mean, in fact, three catches I'll talk about. Jasprit Bumrah also could have caught on to that catch very early on shot fine leg, shot square leg, whichever way you look at that position. I think he reacted a bit too late and the ball wasn't really, far away from him. Had he been a bit more alert, he could have probably taken that catch. So that was one issue. The second one, Shivam Dubey dropping, that I think was a clear-cut miscommunication. I think if the communication was better, had Hardik or Shivam, one of them screamed, the other would have stayed far away from the one who's going for a catch, and that wouldn't have been a drop. I think that drop is purely down to not, light or anything, but one batter being distracted. And then the third catch, Sanju Samson, also a case of misjudgment. He called for it. The calling here was good, going after it, but he misjudged it. At the last moment, realized that no, he was standing at least 3 feet behind from where he should have been ideally positioned, and he enough time for the ball had gone up. So yes, fielding I think is an issue which is neutral to the conditions. But I think on the batting front, I think India has been punching above the par total. They've been batting above it. I think today most other teams would have also struggled to get because the back half gets very tough. Yes, you could argue that Abhishek Sharma, if he does, and that I think is the worry. What happens on the day that Abhishek Sharma doesn't fire? What happens to the Indian team then? That I think is a valid reason to be questioning the team, a valid reason for the Indian team to introspect, because if you don't get an Abhishek giving you that start, will the other batters step up? So far as the shuffling is concerned, I think I did mention in our mid-inning show that I see no problem with that. Mr. Gavaskar has a different thought and you'll hear him in that analysis. But I think in that shuffling, what India is trying to achieve, and I think it's a long-term goal, that they want each batter to be ready to bat at any position, and that is what they truly want to achieve. And I think if they do achieve that, that will be excellence in T20 cricket. And they are chasing excellence at the moment. That record that I mentioned is 33-3 now. 33 wins, 3 losses since start of 2024. So they are really chasing excellence. And if you have to be the best ever T20I team assembled, then you need to have this situation where any batter on a given day should be able to bat. So I encourage this shuffling. That's how I see it. But yes, some batters really need to get back into form. Today, I think Hardik played responsibly. Shivam Dubey going at number 3, no issue. I think they sent him to accelerate. Tilak has been getting runs here and there. Sky got 2 runs in that first game, if you remember. After that, hasn't got 2 runs. But with him, on the day he fires, he'll win you the games. On other days, he might fail. The only thing that Sky needs to be looking at, and that's a thought that has come from Mr. Gavaskar. He has a suggestion what Sky needs to do, but I'm not going to repeat that, as I said. For that, you have to watch Mr. Gavaskar's interview.
And the positive when I look at it, Nikhil, yes, our spinners, 12 overs, 6 for 84. I mean, Varun, Aksar and Kuldeep. I mean, Kuldeep, as always, gold standard, 3 for 18 now, with 12 wickets in this Asia Cup. He continues to be our trump card. But today, all the fears that we had about Jasprit Bumrah, see, he got 4 overs, none for 45 in the previous game. Today, he bounced back with 2 for 18. Harshit pointed out that he was hitting the hard lengths far more today as compared to the previous game. So, again, those fears have been allayed that, Jasprit Bumrah just had one bad game and maybe that rust is now starting to wither away.
See, again, not surprising, Siddharth, because that is what Jasprit Bumrah is. You can have an off day with him. Can you have 2 back-to-back off days? Fat chance of that happening. No chance of that happening. And I think that is exactly how we all view Jasprit Bumrah. He's good enough to be the match winner on any given day. Those off days will be rare. And so he bounced back today. I am not surprised at all. And which takes me to the point, I would actually play him the Sri Lanka game as well. He's in good rhythm, yeah. Let him play. Why rest him? Let him play. This rest is the one that causes this impediment in his form carrying forward. So let him play. I would say let him play. It's 4 overs. There's no practice that India is going to do tomorrow as well. They'll turn up for the Friday game. Play a encounter. Keeps you in rhythm. Keeps you going. So like a well-oiled machine. So he should play, I think. And so far as Kuldeep is concerned, I completely agree after that game. But then he's been your standout bowler, if I'm not mistaken, the highest wicket taker of the
Yes.
tournament so far. So he's been outstanding as well. That him firing, again, no surprises for me. So, in fact, today India didn't use their secret weapon. They didn't even have to go to Shivam Dube to do the job for them in this game. That's how good the rest of the bowlers were. But I still maintain, I'm like a stuck record. Somehow I would look to bring in a fast bowler. You see, Akshar again was rather expensive today. Has gone for a lot of runs. Only bowled 1 over previous game. So keeping him primarily for his batting, but then your batting is anyway being underutilized. Today wasn't a great day, and still, you didn't even use Sanju Samson. So do you really need batting till there? I don't think this Indian team needs batting till there. What they need is another bowler. On an off day for a Kuldeep or a BUMRAH, you would need somebody to step in. Today, these two are in good form, so everything gets covered. But on a day that they don't fire, that's why I think, again, see, you're using BUMRAH 3 overs of his in power play continuously. What happened if it was a close game? What do you do in the death? Can you rely on Hardik every time to perform? I don't think so. So that's one area India can look at.
However, I just feel that, the way that India are batting and all the praise that we're lavishing on the likes of Abhishek and the others around him, the freedom and the fearlessness with which they play, I think the license to play that way also comes from the fact that you as a batter know there is cushion at number 8. Yes, it may have come through the means of the IPL where impact player and all of that it's added and it's given you that sort of freedom. But for this Indian team as well, I think batting at number 8, the presence of somebody like an Akshar over there or a Dube, whosoever, or a Samson as was the case today, I think it's that as well that acts as an enabler for you to bat that way. So maybe this is the way that they want to go about it. Maybe batting a team out is their idea, and that's why I don't see them going back to a scenario where they have an extra bowler. They are looking at batting teams out rather than bowling teams out per se. They're just giving it. So it's like 51-49 or 55-45 at the moment in terms of India's batters, bowlers balance that they're looking at.
But for that as well, that's what I'm saying. You are batting like that. That is exactly how you've been batting throughout this tournament, right? Because you want to bat aggressively. Completely taken. But you've not utilized batting till there. So you batting with that aggression, you have to look at, what's happening. We whenever we come up with something that we need to do, we look at, what's been happening in the past. And those instances or examples help us plan for the future, whatever field you're doing. So if you're planning for the future, you look at where you're going slightly weak, and it's the death bowling and a lack of a fast bowler. And where is that other area which you're underutilizing? You're padding it up, you're batting, but your batting is not being utilized despite the fact you're batting aggressively. You've never become conservative. You're batting aggressively, yet the number 8 is not being used. Whereas your bowlers will always be used, especially the day BUMRAH and all don't have a great thing. So that is something that the Indian team will have to keep in mind. So I'm going to take your leave because I might get some pictures. Let me record something of the Indian team, and then you guys carry on. I was waiting for that chance.
Yeah.
So I'll see you later.
Okay.
Nikhil, what do you think? I mean, before you leave, last question.
Yeah.
Pakistan, Bangladesh, do you think it's an India-Pakistan final?
I want all of you to answer that, yes. But before I go, I asked Mr. Gavaskar that as well. What did he say? You have to watch his interview to find out. What do I say? Yeah, that I can tell you. I think looking at the way Bangladesh performed today, I have a feeling that Pakistan looks stronger than this Bangladesh team. Yes, if this Bangladesh team goes through a few changes, if they bring in someone like Liton Das comes back, it gives the team a different look. But at the moment, and also they are playing back-to-back games. So at the moment, I think it is going to be Pakistan, I think, was looking stronger at the moment.
What do you think, Shane? Pakistan, Bangladesh?
110% is going to be Pakistan.
Yeah.
Pakistan.
The trilogy is complete then. India versus Pakistan.
In
first.
the year of firsts.
it in the era first. Hobart Hurricanes, RCB,
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace,
Tottenham Hotspur.
Tottenham Hotspur. India versus Pakistan,
Didn't want to say
first
that.
time. First time in the history of the Asia Cup that's going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, tomorrow's game, I mean, not tomorrow's game, today's game.
Today's game.
In 20 hours.
Yeah, in 20 hours' time. It's going to be a humdinger. And looking at it, Pakistan rested after today. And Bangladesh coming off this loss, they'll be demoralized. So, yep. India versus Pakistan final loading indeed. So,
You let us know your thoughts in the comments as we try and see what is it that you have for us in the comments. By
Yeah.
the time that we come to your thoughts, we would have taken care of the other comments that you've already shared with us. So let's begin with what's
we'll
that? But
be getting Shivam Giri.
No, first give us the Shivam
Shivam
Giris.
Giri. First,
Yeah,
we'll
first
go with-
Shivam.
First the Shivam Giris. I have a thing suspicion I know at least one of the Shivam Giris.
Okay.
Yeah, because I may have sent him something. Not that.
Indian batting in the Asia Cup. Okay, this is the scene from Animal.
Animal.
Where Abhishek Sharma, I mean, he single-handedly decimates the bowlers and the Indian middle order is like just in the background.
Correct. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, go further.
Yeah.
I think I know which is the one you sent.
I was showing it to you guys before, so
Yeah,
yes.
you did.
And
This is the
it's-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is hilarious. It reminds me of that gully cricket time. Yes.
Also see what's written over Abhishek's head.
तुम लोग ये खेलो तब तक मैं Oh boy, and who's the most unhappy? Tilak, is that Tilak there?
The most unhappy is probably Sanju.
Sanju,
Because
yeah.
he's not even getting to pick.
He may be unhappy with the color of his shirt.
Yeah. Gambhir, oh boy, this is hilarious indeed. Go further. Yeah, India deciding batting order today. Well. Oh goodness, this is the Usos.
The Usos crowning Roman Reigns, and
Roman
yes, that's pretty
Reigns,
much
yeah.
what's happening here.
Yeah.
The Indian team fans are crowning Abhishek.
That should be the Ulafala, right?
Yeah, technically.
Technically, not the crown, but yeah, go further. This is Gale head Makkalam level of performance from Abhishek Sharma.
Agreed. Agreed.
Totally. Yeah, Abhishek Sharma in 2 games he's absolutely decimated the opponents. Bapu with bat 9 of 15. Bapu with ball 37 or 24. This is a good one. This is a very good one. Yeah, go ahead. Sanju Samson did not bat. Who smashed 111 versus Bangladesh last time?
Yes,
including
yes.
5 sixes of Rishad Hussain.
Yes.
Why couldn't you get him? Yeah, that is the thing.
Oh, Sanju.
Yeah. And Rinku, Sanju and Rinku, poor guys.
Could
further-
be teammates in the future, maybe.
Yeah, could be. Sky took the tag seriously.
You can say it. It's not your opinion. Minnow basher tag
That's
seriously.
unfair. I mean,
Yeah, so he decided I'm not going to bash the minnows.
but look at it. He's got hundreds against New Zealand, England.
Yeah, the
and-
tag is unfair.
It
It's a
is very
very
unfair.
unfair tag.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just like the tag of
He's-
several other things on Surya Kumar Yadav is unfair.
Beyond
Yeah.
all of these things.
Okay, this is from border. Okay. कुछ ज्यादा ही अभिषेक शर्मा पे डिपेंड नहीं हो रहे हम.
I mean, at this point, that it tells you everything about the level of the Asia Cup. That India can be far from their best
And
and still be comfortably the best.
They can be
Drop
dropping-
4-5 catches and you win by 41 runs. Imagine.
Exactly. You drop 4-5 catches in a World Cup knockout and you're knocked out.
Exactly. So
Next.
Yeah, next. Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, look at the other two, Travis Head and Heinrich Klaassen, यार.
Exactly.
उठना बैठना ही दानव लोगों के साथ. Oh goodness.
Next.
Social media, I tell you. Oof.
I think that's it.
That's it. But okay,
That's all right.
take
We
that.
can take the comments now.
Then we'll take the comments. Then. But yeah, Travis Head. I mean, you have to, if you want to credit Abhishek Sharma for being what he is, credit the SRH team. Heinrich Klaassen and Travis Head both have changed the way how you play in that sense. So I think that we've taken, this we have taken.
We've taken them all.
Who's responsible for Pakistan's defeat against Italy? Honestly, live telecast of the match.
We're going to handle humanity and justice.
True. I mean, If the match wasn't telecast, Pakistan would have claimed victory. That's how they are. So that's the way I look.
All right, let's get to the comments now. I'm sure our family members have been waiting to hear what it is that we have to say. First we'll go to those, because correct.
Yeah.
Dhanush says that Sky's last T20I innings, 113 runs, average 11.3. Can get away in Asia Cup against Minnows, but can't hide behind teammates against odds. They're saying, Dhanush, we're being very unfair here. As I said, I think he's a victim of his own success at this point.
He's got two major hate points: Rishabh Pant and Suryakumar Yadav, and also Shubman Gill.
Dhanush.
Yeah.
No, but see, there'll be calls.
Why this hatred, Dhanush?
There'll be cause for worry if the same continues in the two bilateral series that we have ahead of the
Then it's serious
T20
concerns.
World Cup. Yeah.
That's serious.
Naveen says, apart from positives, negatives including horrible catching, apart from Abhishek, none of the batsmen are giving me confidence. If he gets out early, we'll be bundled out around 120. Please, I understand he's been a difference maker, but we're discounting our other batters a bit, don't you think?
I mean, Oman game he failed, and you are in a precarious position then. But okay, it's Oman, that's why you won't take it seriously. But maybe now the time is gone.
That game you were in experiment mode.
Yeah.
Full experiment mode you
But
were.
Naveen, the time is now done.
Yeah,
Whatever it is now.
And trust me, this India team can be playing at half strength and they'll still end up winning the Asia Cup. You can take it from me in writing.
That's the thing.
The levels of this tournament are sadly not very high.
It isn't very high.
Yeah.
So,
Can we take the next comment, please?
yeah, we can take.
If there's anything else.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Ashish Dhar says, Jakir Ali reminded me of Jagu Dada and Hero.
Jackie Shroff, yeah.
He reminded me a little bit of Sandesh Jingan with the beard and hair combination.
Correct. Yeah.
And he also adds, Ashish, that Dubai outfield is horrendous near boundary edges. Yes. And Ashish also mentioned something we talked about, that the white canvas with Ring of Fire, the reason for drops.
Partly.
Partly.
Because see,
Though, as
some
Nikhil also
catch,
pointed out, yes, couple of them were just erroneous. The one from Sanju Samson was an error of judgment.
Dubey.
The one from Dubey as well with Hardik Pandya right by his side was also a bit of miscommunication.
Yeah.
But yeah, partly that has to be the reason as well, because as we mentioned, very good side India in terms of fielding.
Sachin Kashyap says if Sanju has to play at 8, then team should play Pant or Jitesh for the T20 World Cup. Sanju should play as the backup opener. Pant himself, by the way, not really an 8 option. Jitesh, yes.
Yeah, Jitesh has got more experience playing that lower down the order. Neither Sanju has that experience, neither Pant has that experience.
Correct.
And Saif Hassan, the second highest run getter, Raj Dasgupta saying after Abhishek Sharma.
That in itself tells you how weird this tournament has been.
Indeed. Priyanshu saying, people say with such ease that teams are not playing modern day T20. They don't have personnel to do so. Everyone doesn't have Indian talent.
Agreed.
That's also a fair point.
Agreed. But then that's what I'm saying. They can't play because they don't have the personnel.
Yeah.
That is the implication of it directly. So,
Ashish D asks, in place of Shivam Dubey, can any other player be placed? Maybe a Nitish Kumar Reddy. But his form this year tapered massively. I'm not even talking about his...
injuries are also taking a toll on Nitish Kumar Reddy, because I think he's not done the India side also, if I'm not mistaken, Nitish. He did play the England series, but then his batting didn't perform. His bowling was decent.
I think he was named. Not sure if
But then in Australia, his batting was good, his bowling wasn't. In England, his bowling was good, but batting wasn't good.
Yeah. So ABHISHEK says that the first time Bangladesh found a right-handed opener who can take on world-class bowlers.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Bangladesh, the left-handers are always taking on the world. Tamim Iqbal, there was the top batter at that point. Then it's hard to trust Sanju and Surya. Why?
Why, Martin? That's a little unfair.
Yeah. I mean, Hardik played a brilliant knock. Yeah, I mean, there are various versions. See, he can't...
He was replying.
Achha, he was replying to you. Okay. No, that's...
Yeah, let's leave that comment, please. We don't need to take it.
We don't need
That's
Reddy is playing Siddharth.
Reddy is playing. Okay.
Scroll down.
Let's go down. Yeah. Okay, I think Bangladesh will win tomorrow. That's what Adam was saying. I don't think so. After all of this, Abhishek will struggle against top quality bowling like SA, Oz, and.
Okay, be that as it may, he's still very young. There's a lot of time for him to improve, and you've got the foundation there of something very good. I mean, let's not forget this is the same Abhishek who little over a year prior was getting clean bowled by Mitchell Starc in an IPL final. It showed you that he's still got some ways to go, but you have to work with the foundation of what you have. He's nowhere close to being the finished product.
Though that was an absolute ripper.
Of course, it was an absolute ripper, but he didn't play for it or didn't think of playing for it. That was the
Travis
problem.
had got it.
Yeah.
Vikas Jaiswal is like saying, you all applied the same thing for Rohit, was praised him, and the day he fails in same approach, you all cussed him. Now you'll do the same for Abhishek. Your whole panel support Travis, but not Rohit and Abhishek.
Very unfair, Vikas.
I
Very
mean,
unfair.
Vikas, again, this is not double standards. Look, if you go by that same approach, we have had the same thing. Okay, if he does well, you praise him. But if he fails, you point that out.
Yeah, you have to point out that he failed. See, even with Rohit, we gave the obvious caveat that yes, he was trying to play attacking and he was trying to ensure quick starts, but after a point, it became so predictable that towards the latter parts of his T20 career, it just became so predictable that everyone is going to be like, he's going to try and take on everyone. So that one ball will have his name on it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a fair criticism.
And again, see, his 92 or 40 against Australia was so sublime in the T20 World Cup in St. Lucia. But his 48 in the 2023 World Cup final, where he need not have gone for that shot.
Yeah.
That was what it was. It was a terrible judgment that
Yeah.
happened. So, this is the problem. You will have extreme opinions when you are dealing with players like Abhishek or Rohit or Virat. The success is so high, the failures are also spectacular.
Yeah, and you have to accept it. You have to accept that is, let's say, part of the territory when it comes to these sort of batters, that you're not going to have 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 successes. The ratio is going to be fairly even.
Yeah. S3G Vlogs is saying, should we try to drop either Gill or Aksar and check the proper combination of team with Sharma, Samson, Verma, Sky, Pandya, Dubey, Aksar, Gill,
Can't do
Kuldeep,
that.
Varun, Arsh,
Not
BUMRAH.
a chance.
You can try and drop Aksar maybe, but he also is very instrumental, by the way. But Gill dropping is something that's a thing of the past now.
Yeah, so Ashish Dhar is like saying, Ind versus Pak football match at Old Trafford will make crowds wild.
Why?
Football game.
Yeah.
I
Old
understand the
Trafford.
standards have dropped at Old Trafford,
And
but
why
come on now.
on a sacred turf like that?
Exactly. Play it in the Old Trafford cricket ground and that might still be a
Yeah.
decent
And
match
you
to
have
watch.
played. And you have played at Old Trafford multiple times. And Priyanshu was asking, so Gigi is like Sunil Shetty, tera left or mera left? This Asia Cup was played to answer 2 questions. Who will lose? Oops, I think we lost.
Who will lose to India in final and who between Kuldeep and Abhishek will be player of the tournament?
Oh.
I think it should be Abhishek.
My bowler bias says Kuldeep,
Yeah,
but
Kuldeep.
I also agree that
But then
probably
what
Abhishek.
No, but
he
the-
helps
the-
you chase that total down and win it.
Yeah,
Also,
okay.
these have been bowler-friendly conditions, let's be honest. So, for him to be getting runs at the rate that he is getting,
Fair. Yeah, that's a fair
makes
point.
for an award for him.
Well, who lose to India in the final? Looking at it, it's an India-Pakistan final.
Pakistan.
Unless Bangladesh does the improbable.
Which I think won't happen.
No, there's a reason it's the improbable, right?
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yep, I think that's about it.
yes, we
Yes,
can call
that
it a
is
night.
about it. Yeah, and India are through to the final of the Asia Cup, so they'll definitely be playing on September 28th. Who will join them on September 28th? We'll find that out in the next 20 hours when Bangladesh will take on Pakistan.
Then in 19 hours now, actually.
Yeah, 19 hours. Bangladesh versus Pakistan. And the winner goes to meet India, the loser is out. But don't forget, tomorrow we'll be live with you early because you're going to see the Indian team for the 2-test series against the West Indies being played. That is at 12:30 India time.
12:30 Indian Standard Time.
12:30 Indian Standard Time. So we'll be back for all those updates. And from me, Shane, Harshit, and also from Nikhil, it's bye-bye. Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri,
Shabba khair. Eat your vegetables.
Don't trouble your mother.
Stay safe and subscribe to Sports Today.